Esteemed colleagues, it is with great pride and deepest pleasure that I officially announce my candidacy for Vice President of the International Youth Congress, with Benjamin Walsh as my presidential running mate. The time has come in which we must stand in strong defense of our Constitution. Through this past year, we have strayed away from our constitutional duties and tenets. The Constitution was ratified by us so that it can be the backbone of our organization, the ruling document of our actions. We need to protect its integrity and stay close to the goals that are enshrined within its texts. Those goals are unity, awareness, activism, and power to the youth. The tenet of unity seems to have been put off to the side during these past months. We have been fractured by our pseudo-political bickering and have deviated from our goal. Yes, legislative reform will always be necessary in our organization. However, it must not become our ultimate goal, nor should it allow us to separate into rivaling factions. We need to strive for unity. We need to be above the feuding politicians that surround us. The Walsh administration and I have always been dedicated to advocating the importance of unity through creation of common goals and compromising legislation. We will always continue to work for the greater good of the International Youth Congress and promote the importance of a single, unified force of youth. Awareness has always been the main component of our organization. However, that too has been lost through the past months. Several months ago, during the latter days of the summer of 2011, a bill was passed by the Presidential Council of the International Youth Congress that mandated the creation of a virtual school that taught children different sorts of education and political awareness. Unfortunately, absolutely nothing has been done to advance the creation of this free school, even months after its conception. Education has always been my priority, as seen in my constant activism and advocacy for education institutions. And I was extremely disappointed to learn that this brilliant idea was quickly discarded. I strongly believe, and have always believed, that education is a basic human right and should not be denied to anyone. We cannot let the virtual school project be lost to history. We must allow it to succeed so that we can fulfill our goal of awareness and teach those who do not have the access to this basic human right. The constitutional tenet of activism has been lost through the past months as well. Our activism with causes has grown stagnant, our goals untouched and unfinished. It has been months since we, as an entire organization, have actively supported a cause. The organization has made feeble attempts to support causes like the Occupy movement and the blackout against SOPA and PIPA. But little, if anything, has come to fruition. In Pennsylvania, we have done our part by endorsing trips to the Occupy Philadelphia protests, as well as blacking out our site for over 24 hours during the objections against SOPA and PIPA. We have also created a technology drive to help our youth members in Rwanda with their goal of modernizing their country. It is time that our organization as a whole supports a cause and takes measures to protest or support it. We must give the youth the opportunity to forge a better future. The International Youth Congress has always taken on the role of power to the youth. We have created an environment that allows youth from across the globe to have the unique experience of taking the important role of helping to improve the lives of those who surround us. However, our dwindling ability to stay organized has denied us the fullest ability to give power to our generation. We must promote every tenet of our international constitution and create a fair and balanced environment that allows for the increased power and organization of the youth. Benjamin and I have always advocated for the individual youth member, for the power of each charter, and for the decreased centralized power of a single figurehead. You can see through our legislation that we try to give the most power possible to the individual charters and their representatives in the Presidential Council. We have also created a fair and equal fiscal plan that will improve the bank accounts of each charter without sucking them clean of funds. We must also make sure that we do not give too much power to a central figurehead. We are a movement led and created by the youth, not a single all-powerful member. If elected, Benjamin Walsh and I will give the power back to the independent charter and the individual member by reinforcing the direct voting policy on past legislation, which is outlined by our very own Constitution. Together, we must fulfill the tenets of our Constitution and empower the youth of the world. To do this, we must unite. We must modernize, and we must elect the people into our highest office that have the vision and ability to do so. Benjamin Walsh and I are those people. Vote Walsh Schwartz for President, Vice President for 2012. Power to the people. Freedom to the charters. Unity between all youth.